2016, and just a few hours left before the polls close for the first presidential primary in the Granite State, the state of New Hampshire. Local 10 News reporter Glenna Milberg has been covering all of it for us, and she's live now in snowy Manchester with more. A chilly Manchester, New Hampshire. Glenna.
We passed chilly. It's downright cold, Calvin. Good evening. Yes, it's cold. That has not affected turnout, though. As we understand, turnout for this first primary in the nation is scheduled to come in over 60%. If that's true, that would really be astounding, at least by South Florida standards. Of course, there are the frontrunners, Donald Trump for the GOP, Bernie Sanders in the Democratic primary. But there's a battle for number 2 right now in the GOP, and a lot of the other candidates would consider tonight a win by lesser standards. The ballots dropped at the stroke of midnight in the tiny township, Dixville Notch. Fewer voters here than there are candidates, but fierce about being first. And the winners, Democratic frontrunner Senator Bernie Sanders and a GOP governor on the rise, John Kasich.
I saw Trump, by the way. I said, I crushed you. And he said, yeah, you killed me.
Thank you so much for being here. All the candidates did 11th-hour campaign rounds at the packed polls, the kind of face-to-face campaigning New Hampshire voters demand in the nation's first presidential primary. An early vote being watched around the world for who may eventually dictate U.S. foreign policy.
And what ballot would you like today?
At the First Baptist Church in Nashua, we find people still deciding, not only on people, but on party. Here are the two parties' ballots. Actually, there are a lot of candidates on each. Anyone who comes in here undeclared as an independent gets to choose which one to take into the voting booth.
So for the longest time, it was anybody but Trump, and I was leaning towards Kasich. But now that Bernie is surging so far ahead, I feel that Hillary needs the vote, so I'm going to end up voting for Hillary.
That's a cross-party mental machination there.
Yes, it is. It is. But that's how we are in New Hampshire.
One person came in, got a ballot, picked it up and looked and said, I don't want to vote for any of these people. So he gave the ballot back to the ballot clerk up here.
You listen to stories like that and you just can't wait for tonight to see what the numbers end up being. Exit polling suggests a huge independent turnout, and that could be very good news for the outsider candidates, Trump and Sanders. We will see. I'm Glenna Milberg reporting live in Manchester, New Hampshire tonight, Local 10 News.